pity you people. If you go to the synagogue the day demons in the synagogue want to drink blood, if they didn't give that thing something, sometimes TB Joshua will just stand up like this. We'll be running to mountain. Then I said, it's a long story, but I want to leave. The man said, you can't leave, oh, because if you leave, na madness, oh, because if God open your eyes to see some beings round at the front stage of the synagogue, you know that you are in the wrong place. Then I asked,
it's another very beautiful moment again, unique moments on Asabe Africa TV. This time around, we are going deeper into a very, very interesting and unique issue that has been rattling the Christendom in the last maybe couple of years, and we came resounding recently, and it's in the media space, something that is very, very tantamount to our modern day Christianity, and something that we all need to rise up against and do a necessary reorientation for the Christian family in Nigeria and Africa. We've been trying to reach out to her in the last couple of months, and it has been a bit difficult. Thank God, just a few weeks ago, one of the bloggers in Nigeria and the producer of Objects TV was able to pin her down, and he got her talking on some of the issues. The first time was on Dr. Sunday Adelaja's program. I mean, Pastor Sunday Adelaja, the Nigerian-born Ukrainian-based pastor, who is reputed to have the biggest church in the whole of Ukraine. When he brought her on the program, and she revealed some of those very dirty things that we never thought could happen in a Christian setting to the notice of the world, and it was a big, huge awareness to a lot of people. And I'm talking about Madam Bisola Hephzi-bah Johnson, the publisher of the book The TB Joshua I Know, Deception of the Age of Marks. She's the author of the book The TB Joshua I Know, Deception of the Age of Mask. It has not been an easy procedure to get through to her, but today we want to continue from where the campaign stopped. We want to find out more things about what actually happened, so that majority of Christians in Nigeria, in Africa, across the world will learn few lessons from her experience, and will also be able to caution themselves when it comes to congregational Christianity, when it comes to the multitude. In the past, in the Bible, we knew that the multitude was a good thing for Jesus Christ to liberate or to solve the gospel. But today, across the world, we have different multitude. We have the contaminated multitude, and to some extent, an average Christian must be very, very aware of where he's coming from and where he's going into. Ms. Bisola Hephzi-bah Johnson, we thank you for your time, and we appreciate the courage that you are pushing out to bring out this campaign. First and foremost, let's ask you that, what gave you the courage to start this campaign, and why now? A lot of people have asked this question. I say, why now? Why are you coming out to reveal this secret now and to tell us what is going on? Of course, we've seen reaction from the other end too, but right from the September 12th collapse of the building in Synagogue Church of All Nations that killed multitude of people, a lot of Nigerians have been able to put their mind in that church, and they have been asking questions. What happened? Was it a ritualistic exercise? Was it an accident? The leader of the church came out to say a helicopter dropped a bomb on the building. But till today, we have not gotten any security report that there was an helicopter that targeted the building or whatever. So where did you get the courage, and why now?
Thank you very much. My name is Bisola Hephzi-bah Johnson. People talks about courage. I don't think this is about courage, because I just think this is just normal thing. Any human being that blood flows in their veins should do. You understand? Oh, it's like I fall into a ditch, and somehow I got help. God rescued me. It's my.
Is it priority for you to?
My priority. Okay. It should be my passion to stand there to give direction to people that there is a ditch here. Can you pass through another way? So that's exactly what I'm doing. What I'm doing is supersedes individual. I'm not concerned about TB Joshua. Unfortunately or fortunately, if I'm telling my story, definitely he will be mentioned, because I spent 14 years of my life with him.
14 years. How will you describe those 14 years? Because I imagine 14 years in a lifetime is a very huge number of years. In those 14 years, you will have done a lot for yourself. You will have married. You have raised at least 3 children. You will even build something for yourself. But how will you define those 14 years? And how did you fall into this ditch? Because this is a ditch that you are talking about now. How did you become a victim?
Unfortunately, those 14 years was the time of my youth, when I had all the energy and I burnt them off all in the synagogue. And those 14 years I would have used them for different things, marriage, bearing children and bringing them up. But I was locked up there. Through hypnotism, through brainwashing, and through fear, I stayed there. I was telling somebody, the day I entered into TB Joshua's office, the first ever day I entered there, he wrote something like an Arabic. It's in this book. Now I just want to show the viewers. Look at it. He wrote something like this.
Arabic.
Yes, and he asked me to put it under my pillow. And because I had no relationship with God at the time, and you know how we Africans, reason. So I took it home, put it under my pillow, and because it's an occultic inscription.
An occultic inscription.
Yes.
And he was telling you that it's inspired by Holy Spirit.
It's inspired by the Holy Spirit. So I put it there, and in my dream, I saw a snake trying to attack me. So I shouted, and he came. And he said, the snake will not hurt me.
So he also appeared to you after the snake appeared. The snake has disappeared. Then he now appeared.
Yeah. So I started wondering, after I got my mind together, I started wondering.
Was it in a trance or dream?
A dream. Okay. I started, rewinding back. Why was it him that came into this scene? Why not somebody else? Why not my neighbors? Why not, and people that I've known all over my, all the time in my life? Why him? It has to be him, because what he gave me, the connectivity was under my pillow. So it was a satanic manipulation. He had connected me together with him when he handed that thing over to me, and I took it and I believe in it, and I put it under my pillow, and it was the same snake. It was the same one that came as if, you know, is trying to...
As if he's trying to be your savior.
Yes, it was the same person. So when I saw this, I quickly, I went back to synagogue.
To see him.
To see him, because he told me that you will get message from me. And after 3 days, come back to me and, tell me.
When you met him the first time, he was giving that description. He said, you're going to get a message.
Yes.
But he didn't tell you whether it's a physical message or physical. Okay.
When he wrote the thing, the first thing he asked me, have you ever seen me in your dream? Possibly he thought maybe I was one of his members. So he said, have you ever seen me in your dream? Before I even could answer, he inscribed that thing and gave it to me. Put it under your pillow when you go to bed. So, and that was what I did. At that time, I only sleep, I eat, and, eat, sleep. Because I was expecting, a panorama.
Yeah.
So, and that was what happened. So when that happened, I went back to the synagogue and to tell him the good news that, deliverance. So, yeah.
Saving you in the dream.
Yes.
Snake.
He was so happy. He said, now, what can you say about me? And, I told him what he expected to hear.
Just like Jesus asked his disciple.
Just as Jesus asked the disciples. I have it here in chapter 1 of it, that this is the significant question of life. Yeah. If you have not answered that question, you are going nowhere as a child of God. Because when trouble comes, it's that question that will stabilize you. But if you have not answered that question, you will be running from pillar to post.
Let's go back. Before then, you are working in a bank. You said the Crown Merchant Bank. Yes. You are posted to Kano, and you had a burnt house and all that. And eventually, there were life issues that threatened your sensibilities and all that. And you came. Somebody advised you to come to synagogue, but in his own video, recently he put out a video showing that you said you are the one that even put fire in the house, that you are being disturbed by a spirit and all that. What will you say to this video? Because since you came out all hog, he has also been releasing some video. Before we go to your book, I just want us to treat this peri-peri. What will you say? Because in that video, you are the same person saying, oh, you are the one that set fire, that you are married or something like that. There are a lot of things you are saying. What really happened to you? Was it the same you?
I was the one, but that was what I was asked to say.
How?
In the synagogue, people who have been to synagogue, we know that you can't just go to synagogue, you want to give testimony or you want to give confession, and you just give the confession as it is. They have to help you to retailor it so that, the synagogue audience will be able to enjoy it. Yeah, you will be able to enjoy it. So if you are proving tough,
spice it up.
Yes, to spice it up. You can imagine there is a girl, Bose Agbaire, who was a disciple. I think she has left now. And something happened to her inside the disciple quarters. Okay. Yes, maybe later I'll be going into that story. Okay. But something happened to her for about 3 months. So when that thing, how the thing came down was that TB Joshua sent for a ram and asked Bose Agbaire to touch the head of the ram. Transfer whatever.
What does that mean?
I think he should be able to explain. But as an African, this is traditional African religion. Yeah. This is occultism. So Bose got well, and they had party for Bose. The same ram was killed and served to all the disciples. Bose's mother was invited to that meeting. We had that meeting in, I can put some people on the phone now for you. Sorry. I can put some people on the phone for you now. So,
to confirm
what I'm saying. Okay. So, Bose's mother was there, and they asked Bose's mother to give testimony that when Bose was a baby, a prophet gave vision that Bose was going to die at 27, and Bose was around that age at that time. But the woman said no prophet gave her you know.
kind of message.
But 99% of synagogue members will have just gone for it.
Because Bose Agbare's mother insisted that it was a lie.
No.
That no prophet gave that kind of.
Yeah, I was sitting by the edge and I heard Bose's mother arguing with Dupe and Olaitan. These are the people, and Yinka. These are the people that organizes all those fake testimony confessions. So I stood up and I went to meet TB Joshua. Say that woman is proving tough. You can imagine. The same me in that scenario. I'm at the other side of it all today, telling the world to please go back to your God. What you see on TV is not real. So I told him. So he now called for Yinka and said they should leave her alone.
Leave the mother.
Yes, assuming that woman had done that, I believe Bose will have eventually died. And the next, the modus operandi of TB Joshua is to release video. That Bose's mother had already said it. And, we tried our best for Bose. And this was Bose, the same Bose, that if Bose dream, Bose was the one that first dreamt that he saw TB Joshua underneath marine water, begging some being that has half fish and half human being, begging them for power. Since that time, Bose has been having some nightmares. It was one of those nightmares she woke up from, that for 3 days she was locked up in a room inside the synagogue. A lot of things are happening inside the synagogue. You may think maybe you're a member of the synagogue, you have not seen it all. It's those disciples that are living there that know what, even not all the disciples. So Bose was locked up. What happened? Bose will be screaming on top of our voice that there is a giant with axe that wanted to cut off her head. So she was in that, situation for 3 months. It's that woman called Mrs. Igeudu. She's a nurse.
Yes, Igeudu.
Igeudu will be the one that will give her injection for her to sleep off. So then TB Joshua traveled to South Korea. On coming back, that was when he arranged for that ritual.
Okay, the ritual of the ram.
Transfer,
Transferring the death to the ram.
To the ram.
Shining of the ram.
Yes.
So in your own case too, you are being manipulated to see all those things.
I was manipulated because after he has written that occultic writing, ever since I started. The moment I closed my eyes, I found myself in the synagogue, and I'll see as if I was walking.
Yeah.
You understand? Walking without the disciples.
As if you can't come out.
Yes. So I told TB Joshua, I said, this is my experience. He said God told him that he wants to use me. You can imagine. Prophets will tell you something from God, but God, why can't God talk to you?
Yes.
You understand? You are saying God said, but God had not said anything to me. These are the lies of the prophet. If God wants to talk to you, God talked to Jacob, God talked to Abraham, Samuel directly. Even the Edens, Nebuchadnezzar, God spoke to him in dreams, showed him things. Herod, God showed him. So why not you? If you're a child of God, God will definitely talk to you. Don't listen to somebody say God said. And they will be manipulating your life. Yep. So this is what he said to me, that God said he wants to use me. And because I was not into Jesus, I was not into God, I believed lie, and I stayed there.
Maybe you were also disturbed, a victim at that time too, because of the challenges of life, your house that got burned, your job and all that. Why?
Of course. Everyone that goes to the synagogue, of course, go there because there is one issue or the other. But because I have a hard issue, does not mean you should take advantage over me. No matter the issue, that could have brought me there. You understand?
Yeah.
Because now they are saying I was unstable. Okay, fine. Okay, assuming I was unstable, and I stayed in that place for 14 years, and where they said there is healing, deliverance, and all that, and even after 14 years, I'm still unstable. Who is deceiving who?
Right.
Asabe,
Yeah.
who is deceiving who? Where there is healing, I stayed there 14 years, and my unstableness has not left me. So people need to wake up.
But really, before we round up, who is TB Joshua really? Seeing him, staying 14 years with him, how will you define his personality? Apart from what we say, yes, you've said a lot about him. Who is he really?
See, I dedicated a page to him. It's about 50 pages. Analyzing him. He's a sick man. He has problem, and is bent on evil. He's a principality. He's not a demon. He has graduated from demon. You can imagine a house collapse, and he brought occult people. See, let me tell you, go and verify. Ask TB Joshua. Maybe we can have face-to-face interview. If he can do it.
If government can make it happen.
Yes.
If the federal government can make it happen.
They can make it happen. I will cross-examine him. He know what I'm saying is truth. There are a lot of people that you can reach, and give them money. I don't need your blood money. He has sent Prince Awofisayo to me, dangling 10 million before me. Even I needed money, but not that kind of money. Not that kind of money. You understand? So
the guy that interviewed you 2 weeks ago, they've been dangling like 5 million to him.
Can you imagine? Yeah. So you people that you are saying things out there, I empathize with you, and I pray you are in my prayer. Since 2008, February 8th is my second birthday. If 2008 I left synagogue, I never look back. All these videos that you are showing, that somebody is just using it to cajole you people. Me, I didn't go back. I've gone out for good, and God has saved me, and I'm blessed. So since 2008 till 2014, TB Joshua didn't travel outside this country. Go and bring his passport.
Why?
Possibly gates was closed on him.
You mean spiritually?
Spiritually. You understand? So he didn't travel until that collapse in September 12, 2000. 3 months after his birthday.
June 12 to September 12.
So after that was when he started going to Brazil, Peru, Paraguay, and all that. Israel. So if you go there and they use you for sacrifice, now you sabi o, but me, I've washed my hands clean. I've said my own. I believe if I didn't come out to say all these things I know, I will go to hellfire, no matter how much I believe in Jesus Christ. So there's nothing a financial gain out of it. Rather, I'm the one even spending my little money. I'm not giving journalists, but at least to buy data, to go around to do this, nobody prints this book for me. You understand? And mostly I give many of them out so that this information can go out. Okay, if I want to make money, I will not take interview, because most of the things I wrote here, I'm giving it out. So even you don't need to buy. Go online, get what's the materials, listen good, and get sense and get understanding. If I had known better, I would not have stayed in the synagogue for 1 day. You understand? So for the fact that somebody wrote Arabic and give me to put in under pillow is a red flag. But because I didn't know, but now we are telling you, this is what has happened to people. If you go there and you say you want miracle, because at the time I got miracle, you have gotten satanic mark. Because Jesus said, a good, evil tree cannot bring out good fruit.
Yes.
You see?
A bad tree.
A bad tree cannot bring out good fruit.
Let's ask about sex before we round up now. Sex. The first time he had sex with you, how was it? And why was his problem with sex? Is it a spiritual thing or is sacrifice? The
sex with TB Joshua is not fun. That is why it's only when he want to have baby that he go near is the person that he call his wife. Me, I don't see her as wife, as we all know. You know, if you want to have a wife, you can have traditional marriage or you have court marriage or church marriage. Since you don't believe in church, you know, in synagogue, no communion serve, nobody give their life to Jesus Christ, no baptism. These are the core value of Christianity. Okay, if you don't believe in church, you go to court and marry. If it is lie, because I'm giving you facts and figures. If it's lie, you know, TB Joshua love picture. Even if he's sleeping in one picture, even if he's eating in one picture, the time you marry, bring out your picture. Abi, because some of these people, some of these journalists, you pay them, you have money to pay, but they will not be there at the end of the day for you. You pay Linda, you pay this Femi Fani-Kayode, you know, that they brought to the synagogue with bipolar disorder. You know, it was also Johnson with cocaine that day. I was one of those people that camera you.
Chief Femi Fani-Kayode, the former minister of aviation.
Yes, Chief Femi Fani-Kayode. All your money, they say you are spending it on cocaine, that you had bipolar. I don't know how far it is with.
Did you get healing?
I'm not. He's supposed to be able to express himself, but I doubt if he has healing, because he told me last week that I should start watching my back, that he want to send Aya assassin.
You mean Chief Femi? He called you. He called you. What did he say? Okay,
it happened that Femi Fani-Kayode ordered this book, and it's on internet, and he reviewed it. That this book is evil, this book is this book people should not, you know, read it. They should put it inside trash can. That Bisola, you know, Sunday Adelaja is pushing her that she should be arrested. You know, I didn't say anything, but during the protests of the Dakolos and Fatoyinbo, because I believe in that cause, because, you know, it's a revolution time. We need to stop evil in the land. So in the church, so I joined that protest, and I also, you know, talked about my experience at the synagogue. So they brought it out, and now TB Joshua now released one confession that he has mandated us and programmed us to do while we were in the synagogue. So Fani-Kayode now put it on his updates on Facebook. So people were commenting. Me too, I went there to comment that this thing is not right, this thing is not true. You know, when they talk, I didn't abuse them, because I know that, you know, they need help, they need prayer. So they don't have privy of what I have. They don't have the information of what I have. So I was explaining. Then the next thing, after like 2 days, Femi Fani-Kayode now came and was hailing one girl, one lady. Say, hey, you give it to her, you knock her down. I now told him and say, your own shit, the synagogue studio. Any day you go against TB Joshua, the world will see it. Just continue doing what you are doing. The day you were brought with bipolar disorder, I reminded him. That was how I say, you naughty girl, you something, you this. You see, if you talk anything, I will sue you to court, and I will make sure all your money. Not knowing that I'm only on God. Then me too, I told him, I said, I'm not scared of you. You bring it on, whatever you want to bring. He said, start watching your back. That he will send you out of this world. Those were his words. So
on his Facebook
page. Then the next thing, he blocked me. So because I wanted to tell him that all the people that Fatai TB Joshua has been killing.
How you had a snapshot of when he threatened you?
I'll check my phone.
Okay.
I'll check my phone. So all that time I was saying between 2008 and 14 he didn't travel until that collapsed, and people told me, Nkechi told me, you see now TB Joshua, hey, you are in bad mess, you better change. Nkechi told me how court people, they put Shaki, they go to that point and they will round that building. Every night they will come around that building. Unfortunately, the people that have died, they died. So then immediately after, he started traveling, gates open. So he sacrificed those people. I pity you people. If you go to the synagogue the day demons in the synagogue want to drink blood, tinye bayi. The day because if they didn't give that thing something, sometimes TB Joshua will just stand up like this. We'll be running to mountain. You understand? Are we talking about those people that are carrying drugs that he normally pray for? That's why they arrested him that time. The NDLA people.
Okay. Because
they told on him when they started arresting them. They arrested one man, Mr. Vincent, in London. Mr. Vincent called. I was the one that picked it. Say I should remind him of the courts. As I wanted to tell him, he gave me dirty slap. It was Bossa that told me that. Don't you know that Interpol may be monitoring? Do I know? So later, they arrested Queen. They arrested Auntie Mary at the airport here. So those people told on him that is their spiritual father. So they targeted him. And do you know that before this mobile police came, a house inside Agodo burnt down. God knows what they have kept inside that.
Seriously? Okay. When they came to search for those that died in the building?
No, I'm saying those people who were carrying drugs.
Okay.
When they arrested him.
Okay.
He has people everywhere.
He's dropping for him.
Possible they told him that they will come and search you. A house, they call it 7-story. Inside that place. It just burned down. From up down. Inside the swamp, it burnt down. They burned it down. So it was 3 days after those people, they came around midnight and they were on the streets till early in the morning when he was going to that swamp. So they followed him. As he reached there, they have told them, they have warned them. If he entered that place, he disappear. So as he was coming down from the vehicle, they say you are under arrest. They took him 9 days. He was now calling Erelu Fernandez. Help us call them. Different people. He was calling them to beg that they should release him. So this guy we are talking about is a shame on this nation. And the government, is high time the government stand up and start checkmating all these people.
Even the Christian community too?
Yes, the Christian community. The whole Christian community, I think needs sanitizing.
Will you not come out? People are saying we should ask you that. Will you not come out later and say, all this campaign you are doing was financed by people?
Financed by who? I'm asking, financed by who?
Because some people will say, there are people that got money and they want backing her. It is a Pentecostal church. It is a Khan. Some people in Khan that hate synagogue.
I went to Khan office in Abuja, and when I had my manuscript before the publishing, I wanted to give them the manuscripts that I just want to, because this book is more than me. This book is for the whole world. It's more than me.
But where did you get all the knowledge to put it down? Because you were able to describe Christianity and you put some theological sciences and fixes and all inside it. You backgrounded most of the issues you raised, especially on altars, on good fruit and bad fruit. So where did you get the contents to eulogize the literary value of the book?
I read books.
Okay.
Not only that, after I left synagogue, I almost died. And some people were saying that I'm an opportunist, that it's this Fatoyinbo thing that, make me to come out. No, I've been on this for the past 11 years. After I left synagogue, some things happened to me that almost took me away.
Almost kill you?
Almost kill me.
What were those things?
Okay, after leaving synagogue, it's another story that, after I made up my mind, I made all move to leave, it's like, I couldn't go. So we were living in fear. We cannot approach TB Joshua that we want to leave. So then one day, he went to South Africa and he came back. And when he returned, he said if Bisola had gone to South Africa with them, their camera wouldn't have had problem. Yes. So that all of us, we have offended him. So we should go and seek for forgiveness.
You offended him or offended God?
If you offend him, you have offended God. So we should go somewhere. So it's after the thing has, leave his mind that you say God has forgiven us. So then we were there. We were just, just on our own. I saw this vision of my mom. Every disciple, their parents don't go near them. The moment you enter synagogue, TB Joshua said, your mother is at your case, your father is at your case. Even because you two, you have, had some issues, you just say, please don't come near me. I'm in the house of God. So we are all alone there. Then, as I saw my mom, like a vision. So I went to him, I said, I would like to visit my mom. So he said, no, that your mom that is a witch. I said, I'd like to see my witch because the way I saw her. So he said, no, I cannot go. So, well, I tried, but he said I cannot go. So I made up my mind to go. In the morning, the security didn't permit me, but I was just shouting. So I took Okada and I went. Thank God somebody was there to navigate, to help me navigate my way. So when I got to Ibadan, I saw my mom and I discussed with her. I told her.
You went to our church, old church?
I went to our church because I didn't know our house again. I've left home like 14 years.
And no contact with her, no talking with her?
No contact. Even some people usually say she come there and she will cry and go away.
They don't allow her to see you.
For where? Me that I'm busy everywhere. So then when I saw her, things have happened to her. I begged her. Say I'm sorry, but I told her I want to leave. He said, we wanted you to leave when Kola Olawuyi was broadcasting in Ibadan in those days. I said, well, I will be telling you what happened. So, after giving her whatever I could afford, I came back. So, and they didn't want to allow me because I forced my way out
in a rebellious way.
But TB Joshua said they should allow me. He called me into the office and said, what did my mother say? What did my mother say? I told her that my mother said she doesn't want to see me again. Because at that time, I have started taking his word with pinch of salt. I've dissected him, I've known him, I've lived with him. He has done terrible things that I've seen. My eyes have opened. You understand? So I didn't, open up. So he said, okay, I should go back. Before I left my mom, she gave me a pastor's number. So in the morning, I called the pastor and we talked. The pastor said, where was I? I said, I didn't want to say that. I just want to take decision. He said, well, why he asked me was because as we were praying, he saw me tied down. They tied me, chain, neck and leg. And, as the man said, he saw me chained down. Somebody already, one of the disciples, TB Joshua's cousin, has already told me one day that anybody who tried to leave synagogue should just go, and who thinking of leaving should just go and forget, because everybody has been locked down somewhere. And this Samson usually collect something from Arigidi to Lagos, so he know all those things.
Even like some Ogboni come to
All the disciples' pictures and all disciples' names. For somebody, TB Joshua, to be asking you, what's your mother's name? What's your all those things. We trusted him. All these names have been, written down, given to Ogboni people. So I now open up to the man. I say, I'm in the synagogue. The man said, what are you doing there? Then I said, it's a long story, but I want to leave. The man said, you can't leave, because if you leave, na madness, because if God open your eyes to see some beings round at the front stage of the synagogue, you know that you are in the wrong place. Then I asked the man, what should I do? Because I will have just gone, because I have strong mind. I will have just gone, but I remember 7 years backward when I left synagogue, I said I wanted to go.
Okay,
because because he slapped me.
Okay, why? What did you do?
One man brought sick man.
Okay.
So he couldn't heal the man. He now said, why did you allow him to bring this cripple man? He slapped me. So I said, I want to go. He said, if you have 2 head, yeah, go. He used his finger to mark the ground. Me, I didn't even. I just went. 3 days I was walking around Lagos.
Roaming about the street of Lagos.
Roaming about.
Where was your mind?
I don't know. I was just going around.
You lost your mind.
All my nails, were dirty. I don't know. Maybe I was sleeping.
My God. Not
knowing that it was magical. You understand?
It's magical imprisonment.
So I now return. He now said I should go and give confession that I'm stubborn.
Okay, that was when you now started begging and you now lie down and started
that me
begging on those lies.
I'm this. So anyway, as I remember that, I calmed down. I now told the man that, what will I do now? The man said, we will be praying. So we pray for 3 months.
On this matter?
On this matter.
Not because you want to go.
The man said, anytime there is service in the synagogue, after service, you must pray, because before the service, they normally do one sacrifice to cast nets, kind of web on people. So you need to pray to remove it. So we pray. One day, the man said, do you people eat together? I said, they always kill ram, for us. The man said, if you want to go, don't eat that ram again. So I stopped eating the ram. So, all those expose. At the end of the day, when I finally left, so one day I just went to meet him. After the man said, okay, you are now free.
You fasted?
Yeah, I fasted, because I asked the man, I said, can I be reading Bible? The man said, don't bother about Bible. That heaven is not open where you are. That we will be praying for you. Then I said, okay, thank you, sir. One day he now said I should fast 3 days. But my fasting is starting from afternoon. Do you know that the day I started the fast, that was when TB Joshua said we should be coming to eat. His close girls should be coming to eat in his kitchen.
Jesus.
So at that time, I just pretend as if maybe I'm not well. So when the food is finished, I'll say, okay, can I take mine to the room? I'll quickly go and flush it. So the last day, he just called us. He said, oh yeah, the food was on his table. Say, oh yeah, be eating.
That's by around 4 or 3.
Around 3 or 4. Before, and I just tried as if I was trying to vomit. He now said, okay, I should go. That was how I escaped it. Then after the fasting, I called the man. I said, we are done. The man said, I saw one angel descended and took those demons that are in front of synagogue and took them in chain. So you are free to go. If anybody follow you, that person is also free. Now, so we come out. So then I now went to meet him. I said, I want to go to Cotonou to see my sister. So he was not happy. He said, because at that time, I've not been, very close to them. Yes. So, and he knew that something, is fishy in the spirit. So one day I left. I came back in the evening. He said they shouldn't bother me. So when I told him, he said I should go and call my mom. So I brought my mom to him. So he was now telling my mom that, you see, now I took her to different countries. You see how I love her, My mom said, I've asked her, I've beg her to stay, but she said she wants to move on. Sir, can you help me pray for her so that her life will be good? If her life good is for your own glory. This man pretend as if he didn't hear. He doesn't want anything good for anybody in life. So anyway, we left, and I called the man that we have left, and the man said he traveled somewhere. He came back the following day. He became sick, and the third day he was in the hospital. The fourth day, the fifth day he came back. The seventh day he died.
Who died?
The pastor
That gave you the vision.
That was praying for me on the phone. So after he died, at that time, I've left synagogue. After he died, that was when I started seeing tortoise. I will open my door. I was living off Allen. Yes. Is Allen in a bush?
No, it's not a bush. Oh, that's city now, very close to Ikeja.
So where tortoise came from?
There's no bush in Allen.
So they say it's only where bush is that we can see things like that. So I started getting torment.
Jesus Christ.
I cannot close my eyes to sleep. I will be seeing TB Joshua. I say, go and catch her. I will be running in my dream. They want to catch me. They are doing enchantment. There was one, those 3 girls I told you about.
Yeah.
That it is virgin. Even after they have left synagogue, they will be printing their pictures. I don't know what they are using their picture.
In the studio?
In the studio. One day I challenged the photographer. I said, why are you wasting materials? He said, Baba say they should print the picture. They will be printing people's picture. I have seen where they nail people's picture on the tree.
Yes.
Where they bury people's picture under the sand.
Yes,
creating spiritual darkness.
Yes,
so I'll be running. They will be catching me. I will be, because my will, I've wanted to live a long time. This guy just tied people down. So I said I will not go back. I will not go back. The next thing, I start seeing that they are giving me injection. Yeah.
Are you sick?
No, I wasn't sick. They will give me injection in the dream. They will give me food to eat. TB Joshua using even all those disciples that I know. Then things were walking around my body. I was not feeling well. I was, Shebi, you saw. Yeah. Shebi, you saw my video in 2000.
Yeah, you look very wretched and very dirty and sick.
Very, very. Because I thought I was dying. So I wanted to leave that world behind. Okay. That in case I die, this is where I am coming from.
Okay, I understand now.
Understand? The whole world, please learn. That was my singular reason. You understand? So then after different things, so I started jumping from one prayer house. Hey, please pray for me, but none of them are better. So after some time, I will be walking on the street. I will be walking into cobwebs.
Jesus. That spider being there. Just like this place is neat now, no spider.
Oh yeah, Melenu.
And cobweb.
Okay.
The world is bad.
Parts from maybe inside house. They say house is dirty. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, maybe the house.
What about on the streets? Terrible things started happening, and we start hearing that TB Joshua has already told us, if you live here, you are dead. Even that may be playing in one's head. I saw one disciple one day, Diola. He saw me on the street and ran away. He almost entered into a moving vehicle.
Why?
When I asked her what happened, he said after I left, TB Joshua told them in the meeting that I was dead. I said he was too sure of what he did, but the mercy of God has preserved me. So after all that, I see that this church, I will go to mountain, pray. One day I went to Mountain of Moses at Ibadan. Ayefele went to play for him because it was his birthday. Why people were rejoicing?
Oh, Kasali, the prophet, the one that the hand is always shaking when it's doing.
He's the one. I went there. He said it was his birthday. It was sometime in February. So they said Ayefele came to play. Why everybody was rejoicing? I couldn't rejoice. I was midnight. I was behind the rock saying mercy. Because I heard your name, that's why I went to synagogue. Father, mercy. They said people are dying. Am I going to die?
God.
Then one day, while I was at home, I was still sick. As I couldn't, I don't want to lie down. I would just sit on the chair so that I would not sleep. But you can't cheat nature. So as I was just doing, like, I found myself in the synagogue again. Something was, drawing. Pulling. So, and I saw Mama Michael. He said, look at how wretched you are. You left here. Instead of you to return so that you can be cared for. Me, I said, I'm not coming. The next thing I saw TB Joshua coming out of a room and came. He was wearing black, all black. And he just grabbed my neck.
Jesus.
It was just, I said, Jesus.
Trying to kill you.
Jesus. Maybe that day will have been the end. I said, Jesus. So, it stood like this, So my neck was. Then as I raised, I saw a cross. And there was a man on the cross. He was backing me, still doing what he was. Under that cross, I saw 3 elderly men. They had white hair flowing on the floor. And they were putting something inside the bowl. I don't know what they were putting, but the moment they put it, there will be smoke. So I thought maybe it's incense, prayer of the saints. So as the smoke went up, it engulfed that man on the cross. Then after a while, the smoke dispersed. That place, they said they took him. That side, they said they took him. Nobody took him that night, but that place just opened on its own, and blood came down.
Jesus Christ.
Blood came down. As the blood landed, Fatai's head was cut off.
Just like that.
Just like that.
The one that was holding your neck.
The one that was holding my neck.
His neck was cut off.
His neck was cut off, and the neck went through the window. Out. There was a loud noise in the synagogue, and his body, the headless body, fell on the floor, and I just everywhere shook. I saw his wife. He wrapped something on her chest, and some people, they were just running up and down. The 2 IC of Ikotun police station, Mr. Yang, I saw him. Go and check that 2 IC. He dropped dead inside Agodo.
Running around for synagogue. For TB Joshua. For
TB Joshua, but he dropped dead.
Inside the river.
Inside Marine, yeah.
My Lord.
He died there. So they packaged his body. But that night, I saw all of them running. So I just walked out of them. Since that time, I do not see TB Joshua in my dream again. Then I start getting well. That was when I carry my Bible. Say, what is inside this Bible? So I started reading. And understanding was coming to me. This is how I know what I wrote here. Nobody writes this book for me. It took me like about a year to write, and I wrote it. I finished it since 2016.
Before you publish it?
Before I published it. It was when DSA, Dr. Sunday Adelaja, saw it on Amazon that he called me for interview. And I go there, I talked about it. Basically, so that people can return to God. God said, return to me, and I will return to you. He said he will be a father to you. So we don't need to be running after anything.
On the last note, where can we get this book? Because there are a lot of issues there that I can now ask you, because time is against us. Yes. Maybe we're going to have another part 2 of this interview some other time. But how can people get this book? Because it is there you wrote about the signs in the hand of TB Joshua that he used to manipulate people.
Yes.
And the sign on his chest too, that gets used to help him to massage. And some other spiritual signs in his body. So how can people get this book, and where can they be able to get information, so that you say without information you'll be deformed, but when you have information you'll be reformed? That's right.
Without information, one will be deformed. I was deformed for 14 years when I was in the synagogue, until God liberated me, and now I have put everything together. You can read it free on Amazon Kindle Unlimited, but if you want to have a copy for yourself, you can also buy it on Amazon.com, USA, UK, UK, Japan, it's on Amazon. In Nigeria, you can get it on konga.com. You can also get it on Trem Bookshop at Gbagada, Bishop Okonko's church.
That's the highly respected Bishop Mike Okonko's church.
Yes, you can get it. You can also get it in Realm of Glory in Isolo. So, and maybe you can also contact me, and I can arrange. I can arrange that.
Contact,
yes.
Your email or something.
Yes.
You can.
Yeah, my phone number. I'm not afraid of anybody.
No, you can get
07046515167. That's my WhatsApp. 07046515167. The Lord owns the earth. Nobody can do anything to anybody. Olúwa ló nílé àti ẹ̀kún rẹ̀. You know, ayé àti gbogbo àwa tá wà ńbẹ̀. So kò sẹ́ni tó lè fẹ́ ni kankan ṣe nǹkankan. And also my email is evangelist2016@gmail.com. In case you have been in this kind of bondage, see, I will shorten your journey. That journey that took me many years running helter-skelter. Satan is not that powerful. Satan is not that powerful. I will give you the way. Okay, you don't even need to, because I don't need to own you. The first thing is to give your life genuinely to Jesus Christ. Stay faithful with him and let him take over your battle. His blood is enough. His name is enough. The word of God is enough. You don't need to use oil, Romy. You don't need to, do anything. The word of God, the name of Jesus Christ. They said they have given him the name above all names. So what's your problem? And his blood, by his blood, he conquered principalities.